20th century was indeed a time when the Russian ballet attained worldwide fame. That was a period when Russian choreographers, ballerinas, and dancers scored fantastic success. Anna Pavlova, Václav Nijinsky, Tamara Karsavina, and Mikhail Fokin. Their names became a symbol of Russian ballet at the turn of the century. Reality and legend dovetail closely in reminiscences about their art. The Dying Swan that was directed by Mikhail Fokin for Anna Pavlova was a manifestation of the immortal power of beauty. In the middle of the century, the Dying Swan was associated with the sad and trembling dance of Galina Ulanova. In her performance, the ballet miniature was worn by lyricism and gentleness. In the 60s and 70s, another great Russian ballerina, Maya Plisetskaya, created her image of the swan, a regal bird floating over the smooth surface of water. reformer of the Bolshoi theater was Alexander Gorsky. Kasyan Gorizovsky was a bold experimentalist. By his daring innovations, he involved the young ballet dancers and influenced many choreographers of the world. Viktorina Krieger, as a true Muscovite, trespassed the academic forms of dance, went her own way, which prompted ridicule and displeasure of the defenders of tradition. This is a rare recording of Asaf Messerer's dance with his sister Sulamifi. By their outward appearance, by their love for the complexity of dance techniques, by the manner of their performance, they suited each other, they felt each other, and understood each other. A graduate of the Moscow Ballet School, Asaf Messerer was the first to begin reforming men's dances, complicating techniques and combining virtuosity with acting. In this truly rare excerpt from the first Soviet ballet on a contemporary theme, Red Poppy, Asaf Messerer appears in the dance with a ribbon. The sports elements and the art of the dancer considerably expanded the framework of tradition and enabled him to become an experimentalist artist. In 1925, the debut of 16-year-old Marina Semyonova of the Leningrad Ballet School passed into oblivion all the talk about the inviolability of classical ballet in Soviet art. Semyonova's dance became the standard of harmony in man's life. And her Odette in Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake represented a powerful and fearless bird struggling for a wholesome and heroic life. But times changed. Ideals in life and on the stage also changed. In Russia, which was closed to the influence of the outside world, the dynamics of life, its rapid development, were manifest in the democratic and radiant dance of Olga Lepeshinskaya and Pyotr Gusyev. What is truly astounding, that it was precisely in the period of the brilliant successes in our ballet, its dynamics, its sportive and energetic elements, that we witnessed the quiet and concentrated art of Galina Ulanova, a world legend of the 20th century. Her young years coincided with the emergence of new genres in Russian ballet, with the manifestations of the best works of world literature, Shakespeare, Pushkin on the stage, with searches for actors' expression and the lessons of Konstantin Stanislavski on the ballet stage. Ulanova's great lyrical gift unfolded in her first appearances on the stage of the famous Chopiniana by Mikhail Fokin. At the time of bombastic and heroic interpretations of Russia's performing school, Ulanova danced the quiet sorrow of a captive queen awaiting a loving soul. Young Siegfried, who was depicted and played so poetically by Konstantin Sergeyev, reflected the same exhaustion of life as the young swan, Galina Ulanova. The Fountain of Bakhchisarai, based on Pushkin's poem, was the first stage performance of Soviet choreography. And this was the time the first ballet in which Ulanova displayed her most heartfelt theme of her inner spiritual strength that could not be broken by violence. Gift of semi-movement, the hint of gesture to express the essence of the action, made Ulanova a great psychological actress of her time. Sergei Prokofiev's ballet, Romeo and Juliet, staged by Leonid Lavrovsky, based on Shakespeare's tragedy, Ulanova is a young Juliet who is compelled to uphold her right to love and be loved. For many years, the actress portrayed immortal love, the symbol of life, in the old and eternally young Giselle. In the first act of Giselle, Ulanova appeared as almost a child that had trustfully opened her heart to her beloved. The hoax that the Count, dressed as a peasant, played on her crashed all her hopes and returned her to prosaic reality. This gave rise to the scene of Giselle's madness, which became legend in the history of world ballet. However, it was not madness that the great Ulanova danced, but her great passion, revealing the miracle of vision, explosions of protest, giving rise to her last appeal, not to lose control of oneself. When the entire world bowed to the artistry of Ulanova in the mid-50s, the ballerina remarked that it was precisely the living human spirit which the great Stanislavski considered the basis of the arts, was that element in Russian ballet that captivated audiences around the world. Acting, imagery, and mimicry, all this was manifest in the passionate and boundless dancing of Vakhtang Chabukiani, another legend of those years. It was precisely Chabukiani who raised the technique of the man's classical dance to unseen heights. It was he who brought lyricism into heroism, and the rare God-given gift of plasticity into the manner of dance. These are archive films: Vakhtang Chabukiani and Natalia Dudinskaya in Bayadera, where the dancer undertook a special male variation which, since then, has been incorporated into the canonic text of the performance. Chabukiani in the role of Othello. His performance of this role placed him among the greatest actors of ballet in his time. Chabukiani staged Laurentia for Natalia Dudinska himself. In the years of choreographic drama, when the virtuoso dance was not honored, he developed its technique. Laurentia was the ballet into which the mature master introduced a new legend of Russian ballet, Maya Plisetskaya. Her appearance marked the next stage in the history of classical ballet in Russia. Today, the name of Maya Plisetskaya is a manifestation of search and dauntlessness in the arts, the best traditions of the Russian school and achievements in world ballet in the second half of the 20th century. A rebel, a strong and brilliant personality, Plisetskaya created an all-powerful dance. When still young, she sought in the academic bases such movements and poses which carried expression, hidden tension, conflict, and drama. Her Zarema in Fountain of Bakhchisarai seemed taut and strangling in the stuffy atmosphere of the harem. Odelia haughtily frowned upon the languishing prince, perfectly aware of the power of her own enchantment. By her stupendous and daring dance, her famous Kitri in Don Quixote shattered all concepts of what was permissible and what was not, thereby proving that everything was possible, focusing on a pose, new intonations and plasticity, if they were, as performed by Plisetskaya, artistically well-founded, convincing, and technically flawless. Plisetskia's Carmen, which became the ballerina symbol in the 70s, reminds us in some way of the youthful Kitri. But here, she was a more powerful personality, fearless and challenging fate itself. The famous duet of Yekaterina Maximova and Vladimir Vasilyev emerged in the years of the reform of Soviet ballet, when on the threshold of the 50s and 60s, in the productions of Igor Belsky, Yuri Grigorovich began his return to the dance. In the new presentations, he occupied first place. The names of Maximova and Vasilyev became the symbol of hope for a new life in the years of the thaw which had started. Audiences were thrilled by the unique possibilities of the human body, the joy of life, and the happiness of dancing. For Maximova, the choreographer composed Mazurka on Scriabin's music, a delicate miniature in the style of Renoir. Vasiliev's gift of plasticity, his phenomenal technique were used by Gorizovsky in the famous Narcissus on the music of Cherepin. The boundless duet of Kitri and Basil in Don Quixote reflect a competition between the young imp and the mob leader. The joyous assurance of the ballerina and the profound dancing of Vasiliev transform the famous pas de deux into a duet of concord. The generation of the 60s, which enjoyed Grigorovich's Spartacus, signified an open and unambiguous change, and began to search for new ways in the art of dance and to work with ballet masters of the whole world. each period of time dresses subjects in new colors, declared Gorizovsky. However, beneath these costumes, there lies hidden the eternal youthful school of the classical dance. It has brought laurels to the now international star Nina Aniashvili and her partner Alexei Fadejev. She has nurtured faith in the future of Russian ballet and the birth of new legends. And this is confirmed by the dance of the youthful Nadezhda Gracheva on the stage of the Bolshoi Theater, in that same Bayadera which brought forth the legends of Russian ballet in the first half of the 20th century.